why I sold 60+% of my collectibles, which is having a lot of people that know me say, what would be the reason for it? Why? Do you need the money that bad? No. So, for people to understand something, for the last 4 years, I have been doing very, very, very many tests. For the last 4 years, I have been doing nothing but filling my brain with so much knowledge of business and entrepreneurs of the past. And when I say past, I don't mean, people like Dave Ramsey, which I do follow some of his teachings. But when I talk about the past, I'm talking about all the way back to P.T. Barnum in the 1800s. So 1800s, 1900s, and then, people from there. And I have been doing tests, I have been doing studies, I have been tons of stuff. What some people don't know is every night when I go to bed, I listen to audio on earbuds in my bed, and I listen to business, Bible teachings. It's just all across the board. From people that people hate, from people that people love. Because I'm accepting all knowledge so I can learn and build. Because I don't believe one person should follow one other person. And what I mean by that is I don't believe you should take 100% of everything I say and follow it 100%. I don't think you should take 100% what Dave Ramsey says and follow it 100%. Because we all have different experiences all across the board. So I think what you need to do is you need to take all this information that is available to us, and then you need to design your own plan based on all of the wisdom and knowledge that you have gained over the years. I think that's how you live your best life. Sure, if you follow one person's plan 100% to the T, you can get ahead and stuff, but I think you're missing out on your own life experiences. So I think you should take sound wisdom, sound knowledge, combine it together from all that you learn. You should then test it and try it. Place it in the fire. It's like an iron in the fire. Place it in the fire and pull it out and hammer on that iron. Put it back in, and you keep molding it and shaping it and building your life, the best life for you and your family. Not what everybody else is doing, but for you. So I have been doing that over the last 4 years, and I have succeeded beyond my wildest dreams, and I have failed. I have let myself down in many areas. And before the people say, oh no, you shouldn't. Look, you have to hold yourself accountable for things, especially if no one else does. So when you acknowledge an area that you fail in, you need to acknowledge it. Like, you actually have to hold yourself accountable that you failed. If it's eating, if it's exercise, if it's your attitude, if you're across the board, financials, all of it. You need to hold yourself accountable. So I have succeeded beyond my wildest dreams, and I have failed in many areas. So one thing about me is people might not know this, I collect a lot of trading cards, and I'm in that world of trading cards with Pokemon, V-Friends, and some other random TCGs. And one thing about me is I kind of go gung-ho on something. So if I find something I really enjoy, I kind of go crazy across the board on it. And so, for example, Pokemon trading cards. I got into it again, and I started investing all across the board, from raw cards to slabs to booster boxes, ETBs, binders, and all this kind of stuff going all across the board. But I did that with the wisdom that I knew then. And now the wisdom that I know now made me realize find what you truly love about your hobby. If you have hobbies or investments, find what you truly love and just focus on that. For me, I personally love collecting raw cards, so not graded cards, raw cards, and trying to complete sets. So completing a set would be buying every single card in that set, so you have a complete set. You can either do it a full master set where you have all the junk cards and the good cards, which, basically you could have cards that are worth a half a penny all the way up to hundreds or whatever. And you complete a master full set. I don't really go for master sets. For some sets I kind of do, but most sets I just collect the higher end cards and better. So we call them hit cards, which are normally V cards, V maxes, and specialty cards, which are normally around $1 plus. That's what I find and I truly enjoy. So I'm like, why am I doing this? So I sold 60% of all my collectibles, and I'm going to focus on just that. And this is learning myself. I've learned myself, and I can say in 2024, I've officially learned who I am as a collector, who I am as a person, who I am as a buyer. And I think when you learn this, you can then take the next level to your life. So that's what I've been doing, is just learning, building my own life of all the knowledge combined. Not just, I stick 100% to this person's plan, and I'm not going to live someone else's life, and someone else shouldn't live my life. You should live your own life based off of the knowledge that you learn. You learn stuff like Dave Ramsey and saving, but you also learn stuff like the Richest Man in Babylon book. Was it Dwight Erling, or I'm not good with names. But all of these different people, these teachers, as you will, you take stuff from them that works for you, that's good sound advice. For example, save 10% of all you earn. It's simple. Most of us, if we set aside 10% of our paycheck, we might grumble, groan a little bit, but after time we won't even notice that it's gone, because it's going to be gone anyway. A lot of people that say, well, I'm broke, I'm paycheck to paycheck, say they can't save. Well, if you prioritize saving 10%, you'll realize that it barely even notices it, but yet that 10% is growing. But that's a whole nother video. So I have been just down this journey, and it is amazing. I love business. I love it. I absolutely love financial stuff. I love it. I was always a data guy, always liked stuff, YouTube data and that stuff, but I love different business ideas, things that are coming up, cryptocurrency, NFTs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all of this stuff, meme coins, all of this stuff like Dogecoin and Shiba coin or Shiba Inu coin or whatever, all these cryptos, all these things, all these NFTs, all the Web3, all the way down to the simple things that everybody knows, internet, 2.0, 3.0, all that. I love it all, and I find so much joy just learning stuff. And I realize that's who I am as a person. And I never knew this until a couple years ago, that I actually started saying, well, to be honest, what had happened was, I said there has to be more than what? What am I, just going to be a blue-collar man the rest of my life? And there's nothing wrong with a blue-collar person if that's who you want to be. But I'm like, just making enough to get by until I die? Is that truly who I am? And then I'm like, no, there's got to be more. And I used to hate rich people. Maybe not hate, but I used to dislike them. I used to say, well, the rich keep getting richer while the poor keep getting poorer. You know who says that? It's the broke people that are not seeking the knowledge and then applying it to get ahead. If you have that mindset, you're not seeking better life for you. You're making excuses why you don't have a better life. It's the government, it's the president, it's next door neighbor, it's my mom, it's my dad, it's my mama, it's my grandma, it's my papa. I need to get inheritance. It doesn't matter. Your excuses, nobody cares. Money has no feelings. Getting ahead, and then you got people, well, you should be happy with what you have, and you shouldn't want more. Well, God will give you just enough. God wants to give us more than enough. The Bible proves that. There's over 1,000 passages in the Bible related to money. The Bible shows us that God wants to bless us beyond our wildest dreams. But the problem is, a lot of us have idle hands and a lot of excuses. So to get ahead and just seek the knowledge, I even created a playlist full of videos that have changed my life, that if it can change a dropout like me from school. I was homeschooled and dropped out of school, never graduated. There's no reason why I should be where I am other than because of God. Number one, because of God in my personal life. And number two, I seek the knowledge. And number three, I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said, I believe in luck. The harder you work, the luckier you become. And I also believe that luck is not just simply luck. I think luck is opportunities. So a lot of people say, well, you got lucky on there. You got lucky with that. I don't think so. I think opportunities come to all of us. And I think what makes it luck is when opportunities come, and we actually see that opportunity, we take advantage of that opportunity, and it blesses us. I think that's the true luck. Now, if you go outside and you find $1,000 laying on the ground, are you lucky? Yes and no. And you might say to yourself, Scott, what? Yes and no. If I found $1,000, that would help so much. Yeah. But if your mind's not right, if your mindset's not right, that $1,000 is going to be blown, and it won't even, you might say, well, it'll pay my bill. Yeah, but if your mindset doesn't change, that bill, there's just going to be plenty other types of bills coming up that you're not going to have money for it either. So is it lucky to find something? Is it lucky for that? No, I say it's luck and opportunity. I think opportunities come, you find that $1,000, okay? And then you think to yourself, taking advantage of that $1,000 would be, okay, I have this credit card. I'm going to apply this to that credit card, cut out that interest, and I'm going to cut up my credit card and never use that again. I don't care what happens. If my washer breaks down, then I'm going to go get a part-time job to pay for a new washer or whatever. But I'm never going to do that again. That is called luck. That's taking advantage of a situation. Opportunity came. You applied your knowledge. You took that, and then you got out of a situation, and I believe then someday you get ahead. Were you lucky that you found that? You were lucky, but it was an opportunity. Opportunity comes knocking for all of us. And you might say, well, that's not true. No. Look, if you got nothing but excuses, then you're going to have nothing. That's how the world works. If you want to use excuses for why your marriage is falling apart, if you want to use excuses why you have no money in the bank, well, that's great, but that's not going to solve nothing. You want a better marriage? Freaking work at it. You say, well, it takes two people. Yeah, but it also starts with one. If your marriage is going down the crapper, why don't you become the best version of yourself that you possibly can be? And not just for, well, I tried for 2, 3, 4 months and it just didn't. No, be consistent for years and years and years. How many stories do we hear about, especially like our grandparents' day and age? Most of the men were, a lot of them had anger problems, we always think, well, grandma stuck it out. All this and stuff. The point I'm getting at is when something comes your way, stick it out and work on it. Try to be the best that you can be, because in the end, that's all we can do. And take advantage of all these opportunities that come knocking our way. It's that simple. Some can say, I'm lucky with what I'm doing, where I'm at. You want to call it luck? That's fine by me. But it's not just luck. It's opportunity. Opportunity came knocking at my door. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take $15,000, $20,000 of my own personal money that I saved up. A lot of people don't know the origin story of how I got into reviewing full time. Basically, it came down to I was still working with my dad cleaning windows. I was a YouTuber since 2009, but didn't take it serious. Don't make crazy amount of money on YouTube. In fact, I make way less than anyone working any normal job. You take all my YouTube income combined, and it's like a week's worth of income for a month. So what I'm paid a month, most people can make in 1 week on YouTube. I don't make a lot of money on YouTube. It's because of, my videos aren't 10 minutes long and all that stuff. And I know if I made 10-minute long videos on my YouTube channel, one video every day for 7 days a week, constantly do that for years and years, you'd make decent money on YouTube. I don't do that. It's just, it's not me right now. And it never has been. I just make, what I do. So I don't make, like I said, most people in 1 week can make as much as I make in a month on YouTube. But it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you got, okay? It's not how much money you make, it's what you do with the money that you got. That's the key point to remember here. So, with that being said, I'm like, you know what? I realize Amazon has a program where people click your links, and if they like the product they buy it, you get like 1%, 2%, 3% commission. And I started doing that. I was approved, started doing that, making $50 a month. Cool, sweet. Did that for a while when it came out with Amazon. Still cleaning windows. And it happened that Amazon offered this new program. So you had to apply, be vetted, be approved, that if you upload videos and someone watches your video and then buys the product, you get commissions. Okay, cool. I'm like, you know what? I started doing that, and I'm like, no, if I'm doing this, I'm doing it. So I spent $15,000, $20,000 of my own money buying products, and I bought the products with my own money saved and went hardcore. 7 days a week working. I started working after, so would clean windows, come home, and I'd work. Shortly after that, a lot of things happen, getting up that early in situations with window cleaning. We were both like, you know what, let's just take this serious. My mom went hardcore on YouTube, and I went hardcore and stopped doing window cleaning. And when that happened, I was working 7 days a week, putting in 15 plus hours per day, 7 days per week. I did that for 2.5 years, nonstop, straight through. You say, oh, come on. Well, here's the thing. My first year, I averaged, I think it was 2021, I averaged, I forget how many videos, because I only started it in like June or July of 2021, something like that, and I upload videos. 2022, I averaged 9.9 videos per day, 7 days per week. So that's uploading 9 videos per day, 7 days a week for the entire year, nonstop. Then 2023 came, and I uploaded 10.2 videos per day, 7 days per week, all year long. Okay? Putting in those 15 plus hours, 7 days a week. Putting in that work. Then, 2024. First half of 2024, I only averaged 5 videos per day. I got caught up with trading cards, live streams, and stuff. I got busy. In my own personal life. And, to be honest with you, I just got careless, got lazier. You might say 5 videos per day, 7 days per week. That's a lot of videos. I mean, most YouTubers only upload 1 video a week, maybe a couple videos, but 5, averaging 5 videos a day? That's awesome. No, not to me, because I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. And what people don't understand is they don't understand all those hours. So I'm now back into full force because I love it. I love the grind. But I had to realize being in stream, so I basically 2024, I made friends. Been in streams, live streams, staying up till midnight late, 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m., not working, but just being in streams and just being a part of a community, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem comes down to consuming and producing. When they are out of balance, it hurts you both ways. If you're consuming too much and not producing, well, you're hurting yourself very hard. If you are producing way too much and not even, if you're producing and not consuming enough, it's way out of balance, because consuming helps you learn and helps you stay sane. So you need to have that balance. Now, my personal opinion is consume 20%, maybe 30% max. So that means consuming videos, that means being in streams with other people, getting ideas, being on podcasts and stuff like that, 30%. And I believe the rest, which is 70%, should be producing. And that's what I personally believe. And I've been doing data testing all this over the last 4 years, all this stuff. And one person may look over my life and say, well, you got lucky. It's like an iceberg. On an iceberg, you see the top. You can see how big an iceberg is. For most cases, sometimes they're massive. But the problem is you actually don't see how deep it goes, because some icebergs can go very deep and very wide under the water that you have no clue. And that's like success. That's like people. People see the top surface. A few people might see a little bit of the bottom, but nobody knows how deep it goes unless you actually go down there and get to know it personally. So when it comes to this, when it comes to business, when it comes to all things in life, I think we need that balance. We need to learn ourselves. We need to take in all kinds of income. And this is a video that, I often say nobody's going to care. And most people don't. Most people don't even want you to tell them that they can get ahead. They want to complain. We live in a wow world. And to be quite honest with you guys, I'm not a big people person. I don't like many people, because people want to talk. People want to use excuses. People want to come up with things on why they're not where they think they should be or want to be, or why rich are rich and poor is poor, the middle class is gone, and young people can't buy a house. And all through history, most people who study history, which I now love, surprisingly, drop out of school, and now I love all that stuff. Most people don't understand. This is how it's been through all history. Oh, I don't make enough money. Back in P.T. Barnum's age, they were rioting cities over elections. This stuff it's comical. It's comical. It's sad, but it's comical. History is just repeating itself over and over. Sometimes history repeats itself like this, quick. Sometimes it takes a little longer for it to repeat, but it just repeats itself. And when you can start to understand this, when you can start to understand, oh no, I'm never going to own a house. All these young kids are saying, I'm never going to do it. If you believe that mindset, you're going to make choices that don't lead you in the path of owning a home someday. You're going to make the stupid choices. So of course, and the world loves this. The world loves to cry. The world loves to say, I can't. Well, you can if you want to. You could be 70 years old right now and say, I don't know what to do. I'm telling you right now, you can change your life, but you got to seek the knowledge. It took me 4 years, and I'm still learning. That's why I just sold 60% of my collectibles. Not because, I got to get the money now. Because I'm learning myself, and I'm learning. Right now, interest rates are high. I can earn 5% on my money that I stash away. It's not in the stock market. No risk there. If it's in the bank, well, as long as we keep it at $100,000 or less, we're good there. So, yeah. Then you got people, well, if the bank fails, did you know that there's a section of the financial, I forget what they're called, that after the Great Depression, I think they were established in 1936, they're in charge of taking over when banks fail. Do you know that through the entire history from 1937 to now, not a single person has never gotten their money back when a bank failed, unless it's not FDIC insured, whatever. Some banks are not. A lot are, most are, but some banks aren't. So if they're not, your money's just gone. If a bank goes under, it's gone. But if it's insured, And most are up 100,000, some are even 250,000, some are more. But did you know that this branch of the government, they're the ones that take over when a bank fails or goes under or is going under. Did you know that every year there's like 15 to 35 banks that are failing and they're being taken over by this branch of the government, either to be sold to another bank and then that bank takes it over, or to be dissolved, which basically they sell all the assets and then, give people their money by check or they go over. It's happening every year. And ever since 1936, they have never not paid somebody if it was insured. They lose a lot of money each year sometimes because of it, because they have to pay. So, a lot of people who are afraid about, bank runs and stuff, look, if it's insured, they've always paid since 1936 when they were first started, when the branch was first released. And they did it after the Great Depression. So there's that for those people who say freak out about the bank. Now, I do believe you need to have cash. If you have no debt, then you should definitely have maybe some collectibles, precious metals, cryptocurrency, have it all. But get that debt. You got to get rid of that debt. So, after all that being said, I've realized that where the knowledge I am, number one, save 10% of your income. And once you do that 10%, and we already did a video on this, so if you want the link to that video, I will give you the link. So after that, let that 10% that you save earn income for you. And which great is high yield savings and dividend stocks. And I learned I'm only going to collect and focus on the collection area of the hobby that I actually truly love and enjoy, which is collecting sets. But all the 60% just stuff just sitting around, I'm going to actually take it, which I did, sell it, which I did, and take that money, which I did, and put it in stuff like dividends and high yields where I can actually earn income from that. So, I don't know. Maybe one person watching this will realize to stop excuses. Maybe one person watching this will realize excuses are stupid. Like, I had them. Everybody has them. I still make mistakes, even with 4 years of learning and 4 years of well over 10,000 hours of business knowledge. Because every night for the last 4 years, someone actually could do the math if they wanted to. I don't even know how long, but every night for a minimum of 1 to 2 hours, I listen to podcasts. And I do that 7 days a week for the last 4 years. So I guess you could take probably averages an hour and a half. Well, it's pretty close to 2 hours. I'll just say an hour and a half times 365 days times, I don't know, whatever. You guys can do the math, and it's probably more than that. And that's just while I'm in bed. During the day, I have podcasts running while I'm working and stuff. So it's probably 3 to 4 hours of knowledge every day I'm taking in. So anyway, anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, and you can apply it to your own life. But the problem is we want excuses, and we don't want to own up to our mistakes. And my biggest mistake, and I've said this to a friend, my biggest mistake I think in my 30s is going to be buying collectibles that were not really a part of what I truly loved. But I had to do that to learn myself. You have to do stuff to learn yourself. So, you can say that, people often, talk about their mistakes and stuff. It's not a mistake unless you didn't learn from it. So if something happened and you actually changed yourself and you learned from that mistake, it wasn't a mistake. It was just a lesson that either cost you time or money or both. So a lot of people that are older, that are overweight, they say, I wish, I made a mistake of just eating whatever I wanted to, how often I wanted to when I was younger, and I should have changed. It was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake if they got their life together now. If you're still in that same zone, yeah, it was a huge mistake and you're still living in it. So if it's money, if it's relationships, or food, or whatever, you don't make a mistake unless you don't learn from that mistake. So, I could talk forever. It's 11:49 p.m. This is the stuff I do. And here's the thing about that. I don't promote these videos to I'm trying to set this back up here. I don't get, a lot of people don't care. I think a lot of people will look at me because I'm not here like dressed in a suit with my hair spiked looking perfect. A lot of people will put off that because they think that's what helps them. They think those kind of people are going to get them to where they want to be. The problem is you need to go to the people like me in the dirt. The ones that are in the dirt changing their lives. That come from, I say that I don't think I could have never dreamed or imagined my life being where it is today. I couldn't. 7 years ago, you could have asked me, I would have, what? What? I couldn't have dreamed it. But I always say number one was Yahweh and Yeshua. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I also understand that if I didn't seek the knowledge and slowly applied the knowledge, I wouldn't be where I am today either. God and Yeshua helped me to realize there's more to life, and God wants to bless you. It really bugs me when people say, just be happy with what you have and accept the minimum. And a lot of people that say that are the ones that are down low. They're the ones that, the excuses. God wants to give, the Bible proves that God wants to bless all of us. The problem is we all like to use crutches and excuses. Yeah. One short saying that stuck with me is you could have a month of progress or a month of excuses. God is willing to change your life. He's waiting. He's waiting with open arms, with a chest full of gold for you. But why is God going to bless you or bless me or anybody? Why would he bless us if he sees that we're poor with little? If we can't do great things with little, why is he going to give us much? Because easy come, easy go. You inherit a lot of money. If you don't have the knowledge or the smarts, that inheritance is gone. It's like all these pro athletes. Look up on Google, my friends. Look on Google. How many what's the percentage of pro athletes go broke? What percentage of pro athletes go broke? Or what percentage of athletes don't have much money? Or just along that line. It's crazy, especially in the NBA. These people making millions. Because without the mindset, without changing your mind, nothing else will change. I could give you $20,000 and you could say that would change your life. You could be poor, broke, paycheck to paycheck with nothing right now. Bills piled up to the ceiling, credit cards maxed out, and you could say that $20,000 would change your life. If your mind hasn't changed, that $20,000 will temporarily, but in 1 to 4 years, you'll be back at screwed up again. And that's just proof of human history. It's just history. Anybody who knows history knows. It's why I want to say it's 87% of the Americans are in debt. Like Dave Ramsey says, if it was a math problem, we would not be in debt. It's a human emotional problem. It's a human problem. And that's why, and you know what? And the 5 years ago, me would have laughed at what I'm saying today. I would have been like, shut up. You don't know nothing. Just paying bills, just getting by. You know nothing, Scott. You are pathetic. What you're saying is a lie. I would have said that about myself 5 years ago because When you lock yourself in a little box, you're as ignorant as a rock that thinks it can fly on its own to the sun and then come back pure gold. Okay? The problem is we need to change our mindsets. If something's tugging in you right now, if you're still watching, then God bless you, because if you're still watching, God is freaking trying to do something in your life. And it starts in here. People often underestimate the power of our minds. If you get your mind right and actually apply knowledge, better are you than a man who gets $20,000. And it's hard, trust me. Even the man today, even with all my knowledge, I'm like, would I, if it presented $20,000 or knowledge, most people are like, well, this is stupid. I'll take the $20,000 and then I'll learn. That's the problem. You need to learn before you can handle the $20,000, and that's what we don't understand. We don't understand it. And I can't really blame people. I kind of blame our society and school systems because they don't teach us. But I also understand it's everywhere. It's free. The information's free. So